I wish my mom would have told me so many things. I wish some older, wiser, more experienced woman would have told me so many things when I was younger, as a teenager, as a young wife, as a middle-aged wife. And so I'm going to pass on some of these things to you because maybe you are less experienced. That would be code word for younger than me. And so I'm going to do the Titus 2 thing, the older women teaching the younger women. So here are some things that I wish my mom would have taught me. First, I wish she would have warned me that most teenage boys have raging hormones and they're all going to use that same line. If you really loved me, you would have sex with me. And I wish I would have been warned about that. I also wish I would have been warned about the blessings that come when you follow God's ways instead of the pressure of your boyfriend. Secondly, I wish you would have told me that following God's ways, instead of just going with what everyone else is doing and the way the culture is pulling you, I wish you would have told me that following God's ways lead to blessing and to deep peace. Isaiah 26:3, you will keep in perfect peace whose mind is steadfast because he trusts in you. Third, I wish I would have known that a marriage will never survive if a husband is sinning against you and you're not really confronting the issue because you're afraid of conflict. I wish someone would have told me that avoiding conflict is not going to be a successful recipe for your marriage. Next, I wish I would have known that if you avoid conflict over and over and over again, you're a conflict avoider, that eventually, if your husband is sinning against you, eventually your heart will grow so cold and so hard toward him that it's inevitably a downward spiral into divorce. Listen to what Ephesians 4, starting in verse 26 says. In your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry, and do not give the devil a foothold. Oh, I wish someone would have warned me about that. I wish my mom would have told me, I wish someone would have told me that a Christian woman, a Jesus follower, can and should set boundaries on sinful behavior by her husband. Read Matthew 18, verses 15 through 17. I wish someone would have told me about Matthew 18, 15 through 17. I wish my mom would have told me that a marriage can be better than you ever would have dreamed of if both spouses seek to follow the Lord, die to self, and actually strive to be a blessing to the other spouse. Whew, that is the secret sauce. And my husband and I, Raul and I, found that in our marriage. It was amazing when you try to out-bless the other person, how much that just strengthens your marriage. It's incredible. It reminds me of Galatians 5:13, serve one another humbly in love. And then lastly, I wish I would have known that if my spouse is ripped from me in death, which Raul was, that God is still gracious and good to those who trust in him. And he has joy on the other side of weeping. Weeping may last for a night, but joy comes in the morning. He gives beauty for ashes for those who trust in the Lord. Let me leave with Psalm 103, starting in verse 4. He redeems your life from the pit and crowns you with love and compassion. He satisfies your desires with good things